Okay, we'll call the September meeting of Falls Township Planning Commission to order. Could we have a roll call, please?
Brian Binney,
Here.
Thomas Hughes here, John Haney,
Present.
Mary Leshchuk, absent for now, Edward Crow.
Here.
All right, very good. First item on our agenda is Kinder Morgan, 1 Center Road, waiver of land development to construct a 1,590 square foot building on an existing building, which will be used for outside storage. Larry? Larry, you're muted. Larry, you're muted.
Can you hear me? Got me now?
Got you now. Just for the record, Mary is now with us.
Okay. I'm Larry Young from Tri-State Engineers. We prepared the plans. The two guys in the background don't like the spotlight. That's Chris Levins, the builder, contractor, and Cody Spazio from the Tri-State office. As Brian mentioned, it's a pretty simple project. There's an existing 8,000 square foot garage out there on the Kinder Morgan leased area. And there's a building addition that they're proposing in the amount of 1,590 square feet to house parts for their equipment. It's all under, it's all built on top of impervious surface, so there's no increase in stormwater runoff. And the waivers that we'll discuss tonight are basically the same waivers that you see on many of the plans going through the U.S. Steel property. So if you have any questions about the proposal, I'll be happy to answer it. Otherwise, we can go through the letter.
It's what's going to be stored in there?
Just parts to their equipment.
Okay. So no hazardous materials or anything like that?
No.
No fuel.
Nope.
Okay. If you want to go ahead and touch on the waivers, and Larry, go ahead.
Okay. The first sections 191.14 and 191.18. They're not applicable because Mr. Jones's office deemed this a waiver of land development, so we won't need concurrent prelim and final plan procedures. So they're no longer applicable. The next item, 191-29H, that's a will comply. It's just putting notes on the plan using the details from Falls Township. Next item, 191.52. We did already obtain a E&S adequacy letter from the Bucks County Conservation District because earth disturbance was going to be more than 1,000 square feet. On the second page, section 191-78B4 will comply, and we'll do a takeoff off the aerial. I believe Cody was in contact with one of Mr. Jones's staff engineers, and he said that we could use the lease area. The next item, 191-78C1. This is a partial waiver from surveying the entire property lease area. And we will do what the last sentence in the paragraph says. At a minimum, the location map must be expanded to show the entire Kinder Morgan lease area with distances from the proposed improvement to the lease boundary.
Is there some reason you can't fix the lease area in relationship to the boundary?
I believe we've been in contact with Joe Jones's office, And I think the prior plan to this didn't tie the boundary in either to the lease area.
The lease area is 124.
The lease area is 124 acres.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure sorry about that. I'm not sure why the lease area wasn't tied down before. I mean, I assume they're going to come in with a master plan for this property, Joe, that they're going to have all the lease areas tied down?
North Point?
Yes.
Yeah, when they come in, they'll have, I imagine whatever remains in terms of the lease areas and property lines will be tied to the boundary. That's correct.
So that information exists someplace then?
I think it's in Mr. Showalter's possession.
All right, we'll move forward.
But we can, Mr. Chairman, we could, what we've done in the past is we've, put a meets and bounds connection from the lease area to the track boundary. In most cases, it's so far away that it's a plus or minus. I know that's not acceptable in terms of survey standards, but at least it kind of fixes it away from any kind of a zoning issue. But we'll ask the North Point folks to tie them in when that master plan comes.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay, the next item, 19178C2, we're asking for a partial waiver of areas within 200 feet of the work area, and we will provide the aerial photo showing that a large area around that work area that we're in. Next item, 19178C3 and 19180B6. Again, this is having to do with the boundary and the existing monumentation. And I guess that goes along with what Mr. Jones said about when the master plan and tying everything together will be done. They'll pick up that. 191-78C8, we'll comply with providing site capacity calculations. Next item, section 191-78D11. Since we're not increasing the impervious surface area, there's no increase in stormwater runoff. This waiver is no longer applicable because it refers to the drainage plan requirements under the stormwater ordinance. The next item, 171-78D12, we are asking for a waiver from showing impervious surfaces, and this was pretty much a standard on the previous plans in this area.
How about you're going to provide impervious surface quantities for the lease area? Does this?
We can off an aerial.
So does this requirement, Joe, pertain to the overall site because this is a lease, or does this pertain to the lease area itself?
Typically, these are partial waivers from not providing it for the entire KIPC and providing it for just the lease area. Our position is that there's no additional impervious surface. I wouldn't have any problem with using the aerial photograph, but up to the Planning Commission.
Okay.
Okay. Next item, 191-78D15. Obviously, this goes hand in hand with the boundary to the lease area and the property. We're requesting a waiver from providing setback lines. We do know enough about it that it's not within the setback lines, any of these buildings or structures.
I do have some hesitation. I don't understand why you can't tell us what the building setback is from the lease area. I don't understand that. It seems like you don't know where the lease area is and you don't know where the buildings are. and you're going to float something in off an aerial. So I don't understand that.
Well, we can provide the lease area lines on there.
Then that's, in the past down there, that's what we've considered the property lines, the lease areas.
Okay. Okay, we'll comply. The next section, 19178, D20 is a waiver from providing proposed plantings in that area. Everything in that area is covered with impervious surface. And the last section under stormwater management would be 17820A. Again, this waiver is not applicable that we requested because of the, we're exempted from the stormwater. We're not increasing impervious surface. And then we have general comments. We have not received any comments from the fire marshal. We have not received any comments from a traffic engineer.
We received an email from the fire marshal dated September 9th, and he said he has no comments at this time. So,
Okay, and nothing, I suppose, nothing from traffic engineer?
no, I haven't seen anything, and I wouldn't expect there would be any.
Okay. And the third thing, we did make application for the floodplain permit, and that will be looked at during our process going to the supervisors. I think Mr. Jones should be in receipt of that application.
Any questions from the board?
No, none.
You have a question. So, you are no longer asking for a waiver for 19178 D15 for the setbacks on the lease?
Right. We'll provide it from the lease area.
Okay.
John, you still on? Nope.
I'm good.
Good. Mary, you good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. If there's no other, Mr. Jones, you have anything?
No questions.
Okay, if there's no other comments or concerns, then I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. All right, I make a motion to, for a waiver of land development application for Kinder Morgan Bulk Terminal, Incorporated, 1 Center Road, TMP 13051-001, Zone MPM, Township of Falls, Bucks County, Pennsylvania, JEA Project LD 2012, with the waiver of 19178 C3 and 19180 B6, 19178 D12, 19178 D20, and a partial waivers of 19178 C1, 19178 C2, also with the understanding of the general comment of we'll address anything with fire marshal in the future, and all comments of the traffic engineer will be addressed, and that the application must obtain a flood permit and earth disturbance permit at the conclusion of the waiver of land development process.
Sounds
Second.
why?
Pardon me, Larry?
No, it sounds good. I went through it a letter.
Okay. He confused me when he jumped around.
I did all the
That's easy to
waivers
do.
and the partials, that's why. Sorry.
Only confused people understand it.
Yeah. All right, Tom Hughes seconded.
I'll second that motion.
You can poll the board, please.
Brian Binney,
Yes.
Thomas Hughes, yes. John Haney,
Yes.
Mary Leschuk,
Yes.
Ed Crow.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Larry.
Okay, thanks. See
Thank
you.
you, guys.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you, everybody. Have a good night.
Item 2 is the approval of the minutes from August 25th. Is there any comments, questions? If there's none, I'll entertain a motion to
Nope.
approve as read, as typed.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion to adjourn.
Make a
Make a
motion to
motion.
adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
All right.
we heading out.